The Canadian government is paying for academics to go hunting for crypto-Nazis and climate change skeptics on TikTok and on video game platforms. Actually, I should correct myself. The government actually doesn't have any money of its own. They have all of your money. So unfortunately, you're the person paying for all of this nonsense. You know, the supply of Nazis never really does meet the demand of the mainstream media and the liberals for Nazis, but I repeat myself when I isolate those two groups into separate groups. They need the threat of crypto-fascists lurking around every social media platform as a reason to censor anybody with whom they disagree. So sometimes these people have to go looking for these very rare closeted neo-Nazi LARPers, and other times they just basically change the meaning of words. They change the definition of what it means to be a neo-Nazi to include people who simply believe in small government and being left alone. Now, today I'm going to show you this Government of Canada funding announcement. My friend and colleague, Tamara Ugolini, has previously reported on the dollars and cents amounts of this Canadian Heritage handout for lobbyists and special interest groups to go on a bit of a social media scavenger hunt for racists and bigots, and also climate change skeptics. They're lumped in with these crypto-Nazis, according to the feds. Oh, and they've also included people who are skeptical of a vaccine we now know doesn't work. The academics are going to be hunting for you too, I think on TikTok. All told, it's $1.2 million for 16 projects. The Digital Citizen Initiative will receive a total handout from the feds of $31 million over 4 years. Now, according to the federal government, it's part of the priorities of the Digital Citizen Initiative to, quote, support democracy and social cohesion by enhancing and supporting efforts to counter online disinformation and other online harms and threats. Now, I'm not going to go through all 16 projects. Who's got the time and who's got the patience? I'm just going to highlight a few of the really dumb ones, because, as you know, there's no end to which these people will waste your money on their pet projects. There's a grant to Concordia University for something called mods, memes, and mini games, play and games as alternative media sources for disinformation. The purpose of this project is to, one, detail current activity by the Canadian alt-right in amateur game creation and wider game culture, particularly in the area of memes, minigames, and game mods, in order to create typologies and frameworks for mapping the evolution and spread of such content, and two, raise awareness among the wider public about alt-right activity in game culture, and three, build research capacity in the area of disinformation and games among Canadians and other scholars and practitioners. Then we've got the school formerly known as Ryerson University's Social Media Lab. Did you know there was such a thing? Working on a project called A Multimodal Analysis of Misinformation Strategies on TikTok. This project proposes a multimodal study of COVID-19 vaccine misinformation and vaccine promotion on the TikTok platform. There are two objectives to the study. One, the development of a misinformation model that triangulates oral, visual, and textual elements for a deeper analysis of persuasion on the TikTok platform. And two, the proto model will be developed so that it can be used as a foundation for media literacy pedagogy. There's another initiative from the University of British Columbia called Shooting the Messenger, an examination of the credibility attacks on journalists and locating these activities in broader efforts to misinform the public. So this sounds a lot like doxing people who question the lies that the journalists tell. And there's also the University of Moncton. They're on the hunt for climate change skeptics online, so I guess I should look out. The government has also funded the Ontario Digital Literacy and Access Network to examine practices to protect Canadian organizations from queer-phobic cyber violence. Now, there's real violence and then there's cyberbullying, but I don't think cyber violence is a real thing, but it is how you criticize criticism eventually. You turn it from words into violence, and then here we are. So next time you're online saying that men can't be women, that taxes don't change the weather, that you still got COVID, after your vaccination and that you're tired of wokeism in your video games and pop culture, be prepared to be harassed by some government-paid busybody monitoring your every interaction. Frankly, I think the point of all of this is to find evidence to justify the censorship of these platforms that the Liberals are going to do anyway. They're just trying to show their work after the fact. They've already got the prescription. They're just going in search of the disease. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Justin Trudeau is pushing at least 2 separate censorship laws that control the internet and attack independent journalists. To learn more and to sign our petition, please visit stopthecensorship.com.